Hey guys, welcome and thanks for coming back here. Now, today I want to talk about something that's very important and that's going on all around us, which is digital transformation and what that means for you and your website. So, here's the thing, a lot of people have their websites that are just sitting around, they're not doing much for them, and a website is not supposed to do that unless you just want the website to just tell information about you. If you're not really selling something, maybe you just want a page out there, kind of like Wikipedia, basically. Now, if you have a service or if you want to sell things on your website and you're having trouble, you're having to go on the phone all the time and actively do things to get people in, then you might need to look at ways to bring traffic to your website in a very effective way, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, the title for this video is called, and I have to look at my notes because my memory is not that good, 10 technical steps to make your WordPress website into a digital marketing engine. That's what we're going to be doing today. So, to jump right in, the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that your website is running on a VPS. And a VPS is just a virtual private server. Now, what is that and what does it mean for you? Not getting too technical about it, a virtual private server just means that you're not sharing resources on your hosting with other websites, the thousands of websites, which is typically what you get into the first thing because it's cheaper. You get like £5 or even £1 these days to get shared hosting, which is what many people are on. So if you get share hosting with GoDaddy or 123Reg or any of these companies, then you know that you're going to be sharing resources with other websites. So if a website goes down or if something happens, usually your website will be having problems with speed, with keeping online. Maybe it will go off and you don't really know why. You find out what's going on and they tell you that, it's because you're on a shared server. So get on a VPS, especially if you have a lot of traffic coming in. If you want to put in technologies that will track people, not track people, the legal tracking, like pixel codes and trying to find out more about your clients and customers, then I would advise that you get on a VPS. Okay, step number 2, right? Make sure that your website is secure. Okay, you need an SSL certificate, especially if you're selling things to people, right? If somebody comes in and puts their credit card details on your website, you don't want them to be putting their details without an SSL certificate because you don't know what's gonna happen. Well, I can tell you what's gonna happen. Somebody might hack it. They might steal all that information and they might manipulate that information and you're going to be liable. You see, so anybody who's coming into your website, who's filling in any type of form or giving you their data, you have to make sure that that data is secure. It's on you. You have to do it. You have to make sure that it's secure. So get an SSL certificate. They go from £5 if you're on a shared hosting, but if you're on a VPS, you can do it through Let's Encrypt, which is free, or Certbot. So check those out. Right. Step number 3, make sure that your scripts are well organized. Now, this is more of a developer thing if you're building a website from scratch or a theme. If you're on WordPress, just make sure that you organize your script tags and everything like that. Very, very organized well and efficiently so that your website runs as efficient as possible. So what this means, if you are dealing with Bootstrap, for example, you need to have jQuery on top, and then you have other dependencies and dependencies for pop-ups and etc. Speak to your developer about it. If you're not too technical, just tell them, make sure that they get their script organized perfectly. If you're buying a theme, then you should be okay. Just make sure that it's a reputable theme and it's got good reviews and you can test the speed, etc. Right. Step number 4, make sure that you have a comprehensive sitemap and you are registered with Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a great tool. It will help you identify errors with your URLs, if they are 404s, if people are trying to visit something and they can't get to it, all this sort of stuff. And if you couple that with a plugin called Yoast SEO, which we'll get into a bit later on, this plugin has got a functionality to create a sitemap for you. Now, think of a sitemap as something that registers or creates a list of all the pages, categories, posts, sometimes posts, but mainly pages and categories, all the URLs. It keeps them in a file, and then you give that file to Google via the search console, and then Google will register these, and then it will make it easier for Google to crawl your website and index it, which is what you want, right? If you make changes, you want those changes to be quickly indexed by Google so that Google can then display them quicker and people can find this new content quicker, right? So get on Google Search Console and take care of that sitemap, okay? Right. Step number 5, make sure that your legal is good and you have GDPR sorted. If you're in the European Union or you're around that area, I'm not too sure what's going on with the US, but certainly if you're in the US, it will affect you different ways. If you're trying to reach people in Europe, then you might need some kind of disclaimer, etc. Just look into that, make sure that you're all good with that. Now, how does it look functionality wise? Well, that's where those cookies come into place. And you have to mention all the cookies that you have on your website. Now, what do I mean by cookies? Cookies are, for example, if you have Google Analytics and you want to track the people coming in to and fro your website, get all sorts of data, or if you have Facebook Analytics, Facebook Pixel, and you want to track coming back and forth from Facebook to your website, etc., you need to declare these. These are cookies, tracking cookies. There are other cookies for different functionalities. Now, there's a website that you can just put in your URL, right? And it will tell you all the cookies that your website are using. Take that information and then put it in a page, your cookie policy page. And then what you need to do is to say it somehow on your website, probably with some kind of a cookie bar that says that our website uses these cookies, or uses cookies to make your experience much better, because that's what you're doing. You're making their experience much better, right? To provide them the things that they need by understanding more why they come to your website, where they're clicking and what they're buying and where they're coming from, etc. So you tell them that, and if they have a problem with it, maybe they feel some kind of invasion of privacy, which is, we all use websites nowadays. I personally just accept it because it's fine. It's nothing to it. But it's always nice to have something that says, if you want to accept this, or if you want to carry on using the website, then you are accepting that we are using cookies, etc. If you don't want to partake in that, then you can just navigate away from the website or look at our cookie policy. Put a link for the cookie policy in there. Take a look at this and see if you want to carry on using the website or not. Usually people just want to carry on and use the website, so they'll just click accept and you're good. You're covered, they're covered, everything is all good, right? Get your terms and conditions in there. Especially if you're selling online, if you have an e-store, things of that nature, get your terms and conditions there. If you're dealing with a lot of data, maybe you might consider getting a data policy document, or you can just put it in your terms and conditions, policies, etc. So you need those kinds of documents just to make sure that you're covered and they're covered. Your terms and conditions will have stuff like refund policy if you're selling things, or if you have a service, it will have the terms and conditions of that service, as well as people who come to your website, what are the terms, what should they do, what shouldn't they do, etc. So just cover yourself with that. It's good for scaling up, okay? Don't neglect it. Right. Step number 6, update your Google My Business. This is really great, especially if you have a service or you have a trade, you deal with local companies or local clients, maybe you have a physical shop. Google My Business is really good for this because on there you have access to directions. If somebody wants to come to your shop and they take their phone, they trying to find out where it is. It's got you get little icons from Google that say, okay, so this is where they go. Obviously, you would have filled in your address and things of that nature, your phone number, quick, easy way to call you. It's just a great UI for the user. It's so helpful, and it will boost up your return on investment for that website. It's just a great signposting. It's kind of like a signpost in the highway, that says, this is our company. You want to come to our company? Oh, look here, we have a taxi service here, or maybe not taxi service, but cut through here, and you get right to it. Oh, look, there's a phone box right here, just in case your phone is not working, so you can call us right now and we'll speak to you. No hassle. So you need that. It's a great signposting. Put it through, sort it out, take care of it. Okay. Right. Step number 7, have something that captures leads. When people come to your website and they want something and they're staying on a certain page for quite some time, they're enjoying your content, right? That person might be a warm lead for you to serve them more content. So you need a way to capture their email addresses. Right, just put a pop-up in there after some time. Nothing too intrusive. Maybe something that slides in right at the corner, that doesn't shock them or annoy them. Right, it's just sitting there in the corner, And if they're interested in your work or in your content, they're going to see it and they're going to subscribe to it. So just have something like that there, and this will help you retain clients, will help you get more clients in, and just overall, it's something important that you need to have if you're going forward with this. Okay, so step number 8, create content and post strategically. Okay, so you have to create content. If you want to position yourself, say you're a lawyer, right? You want to position yourself as an authority in law. You are giving advice through your blog, etc. Then post content regularly and post it strategically. Post it to your socials. If you have a B2B business, right, then you want to be thinking about posting or writing for LinkedIn, within LinkedIn. Well, not writing for LinkedIn, but writing within the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is very powerful in terms of that, so do it that way. Think about things such as which kind of platforms are you going to be serving at the right time. Okay, so if you post the content, if you write a blog, right, put in functionality there that lets you post to 3 of your social networking, whatever it is, just by sharing it. Okay, you might use Hootsuite for that will connect to your website and this and that. So this is that ecosystem that you need to broaden your website, to expand it into something much more than just something that's static and it's sitting there and it's just like a website. You don't have to choose between social networking platforms and your website. Integrate them, like connect them. They have to be interconnected, and then you'll see the power in it, and that's what you need. Okay, now step number 9, have valuable download content with dedicated landing pages. Now, if you're a B2B business, okay, and let's say you're a technology business or you are a consultancy business, then you might want to write a white paper. Now, a white paper is really good because you have research in there, you have like authoritative information in there. You saying to the person, look, I know what I'm talking about. Our company knows what we're talking about. We did the research. It doesn't have to be an ebook. It might be like 4 pages long, right? A summarized research paper as a white paper. Have different landing pages for the different sectors that you serve, right? Which, if you're going after hairdressers and people who make pool tables and people who buy whatever, right? Have different white papers for that and different landing pages, and then run Google ads around those landing pages. Okay, now you don't have to have a landing page right on your website. There are landing page services all throughout, but I recommend just having everything on your website so that you keep your branding concise, you keep everything there, you're tracking it. Your Google Analytics is not split all over the place. All the data is coming from one source, which is your website. Now, it might be coming from the social media platforms, etc., but it's going through your website and then it's being read by analytics. So it's easier to understand your clients, it's easier to understand what everything is going on, what the response of everything is, etc. But have those landing pages and make sure that people can download this content, but make sure that they are giving you something back. It's obviously, you're not going to monetize white papers, but you can get their information because they're warm leads. That's what they are. Like they're interested in your product, they're interested in your services because they're looking into this thing. The act of them doing that means that if you get their information, you can contact them, and more chances than not, you're gonna land them as a client. So get that sorted out, okay? And step number 10, last but not least, okay, and that's coming from this one that we're talking about, collecting data. Build your forms strategically by asking the right questions. Don't ask unnecessary questions because people don't want to be spending time just like filling in forms. I don't like to fill in forms. Sometimes when I'm looking for something quick, I just want to I have something and I can't find it, and I finally find it. I don't mind buying it, I just want it so that I can use it for whatever project I'm doing, etc. I don't want to be filling in a 30 line form asking me about my mother's maiden name and where I went to high school. I just keep it simple, keep it straightforward, get the information that you need there and then, not that you think you need, okay, so that you can have like huge data or something like this. No, get the crucial information, and the most basic crucial information that you can get, apart from the credit card stuff and whatnot, is email address, and then the rest, or maybe email address and name, so that you can address them, right? It can be more personable. The rest you can always get at a later stage, different ways, without actually pissing the person off. So there it is. That's the ecosystem. Those are the essential things that you need for you to be able to actually take your website away from being a website. And you know what I'm talking about. You have your website, you don't really know why it's there, you can't measure it, you don't know who's coming to it or not. It's like people tell you have to have a website, but you just can't see the value of it because it's not returning value. It just seems to be returning value by being there and looking nice, etc., but it's not really doing anything. You need to turn it into a digital marketing engine. You need to digitally transform it. And this is happening all over. Take a look at all the things that are happening, even your government websites, etc. Things are happening online. The website is doing much more than just being passive in the background, and you need to take steps to do that, especially if you want to get clients in and not have to chase clients all the time, but you want to be attracting clients. You want to set up your website in a way that it's attracting all sorts of clients. You're understanding where they're coming from, what they're clicking on, what they're interested in, and just that relevant data that will help you serve them even better. And that, my friends, is 10 technical steps to make your WordPress website into a digital marketing engine. Do it. Again, if you like the content, just like it. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Just click that button right there and click the little ringing thingy down there as well, just to make sure that you get all the notifications that come through when I post a video. And I'll be posting more and more about these tips and that. I've created a lot of great content for you, so just stay tuned, subscribe, like, and hit the ringing button thing. All right, until next time, see you soon, and do it.